Hey. Welcome to the Oscar edition of Ask BP. This is a video segment we do on the website and on our YouTube account, which is what now?
BP Video 1000.
BP Video 1000.
The number 1000.
Of the future. The year 1000. What you do here is you tweet questions to me when I ask for them. I haven't made that clear in the past, and people tweet me all the time. I should have made that clear. When I ask for questions, then you tweet questions to me.
You could write down the questions and just save them for later if you want.
Okay. We get enough questions when I ask.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd be writing down questions all through the week or whatever, which I'd probably just leave at work anyway. You tweet questions to me on Twitter at The Pretension, twitter.com/ThePretension. And then we answer them here on the video. For those of you who have listened to the Oscar episode of the podcast, you know that I've had a few. If you don't, hey, I've had a few. First question comes from at Derek Brownish. It says, at The Pretension, The Hurt Locker is a fine film, but hype aside, wasn't Inglourious Basterds better directed? At least it's more distinctive. My answer is you're wrong. It's different. As far as which one's better or better directed, that's a matter of opinion. But as far as which one's more distinctive, I don't think there's anything bland about The Hurt Locker. I think it's a very distinctive film.
Yeah, and also just it's very difficult to judge like best director just in general because I think Inglourious Basterds is the best directed it could be. And I would probably say the same about The Hurt Locker, and I would say the same about Up in the Air. Those were directed perfectly for what they needed to be. So it's hard to gauge, and it's hard to say that one was better directed than the other. I think they were both directed the way they needed to be. If you directed The Hurt Locker the way Tarantino directed Inglourious Basterds, I'd say the film would not have been nominated for anything.
A little crass.
Yeah.
At C_Griffin says, at The Pretension, do you think being a straightforward comedy kept In the Loop from being a Best Picture nominee? That, among other things, as we talked about when Graham and Chris from comedyfilmnerds.com were on the show, it'll be a while before a straightforward comedy gets the nomination. But also, it's In the Loop was a niche film that not a lot of people saw.
Yeah, I mean, when the time comes and comedy is recognized, it's still the Oscars. It's still going to be high-profile comedy with stars in it. This one had James Gandolfini and the actress from My Girl.
Yeah, but it's also just subject matter. You can sell, like The Hurt Locker is a small film too, but you can, or Precious, but you can sell it. This is an important movie. It's about the war. It's about poverty and sexual abuse or whatever.
Right.
But in the Loop is this is a horribly profane comedy. It's hard to say what it's about. Because it's not the story is complex and in a way subtle subtle in a way that it's hard to, like I said, it's hard to explain what it's about.
I've heard a lot of people compare it to Dr. Strangelove, and they say, well, Dr. Strangelove was nominated. Well, it was directed by Kubrick, and it had Peter Sellers in it, who is a big name at the time. So, yeah, it's just I think it's just me being cynical, but it's just like, even if there was a comedy category, I don't think In the Loop would have made it.
Okay, at podcast_fanboy says, Oscars show no love for Park Chan-wook's Thirst, the true best film of 2009. What other films do you think were overlooked? Thirst was great, but as far as what we're going to talk about our favorite films of the year next week. We like to wait a week because we think we're the final authority. Once the Oscars have had their say, then we come in and we sort of set everything straight.
The Independent Spirit Awards, the Razzies, the Oscars. We're the ones who know the best and worst. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And that's
well, hang on. Well, real quick, I do just want to mention. I'll probably mention it more in depth next week, but just in general, as far as all around snubs, The Informant is one of my favorites, and I think it's just one of the most brilliantly conceived films of 2009. And its lack of nomination in any category really bothers me.
I won't see it now though, because the Oscars aren't wrong.
Oh, jeez. Blindside is pretty good now that I think about it.
Yeah. On that depressing note, let's end this segment of Ask BP.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. And again, if you follow me on Twitter at The Pretension, and when I ask, you can tweet me questions. That's at The Pretension.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.